All right, welcome back to SportsLine. We continue our discussion with our good buddy Justin LaBar from Chairshot Reality and the Pittsburgh Tribune Review, who covers the WWE. We're getting ready for WrestleMania 32 this Sunday from AT&T Stadium in Dallas. And Justin, give me your thoughts on just the overall buzz heading into WrestleMania. There's not going to be Seth Rollins. Randy Orton's injured, so is Seth Rollins. We don't think we're going to see John Cena, although I know there's some rumors that he may show up. Overall, in terms of buzz, how does this year's WrestleMania live up to past years?
Well, it's definitely down. There's a lot of the pessimism, it seems, again, ironically, from the same fans that don't like Roman Reigns. But, and I do understand that. The build to this Mania has been somewhat awkward for a couple of reasons. One, and the injury that you said is a huge thing. It's not like these are injuries to the ham and eggers. I mean, these are injuries to top guys that were all supposed to be, basically main event matches. So that's a big deal. Another factor, too, is I still firmly believe that, they did this WWE Network special Roadblock like 3 weeks ago in Toronto, on a Saturday, and that kind of seemed like it threw a little bit of a weird detour, pun intended here, with,
right.
To go into Mania, because all of a sudden they started focusing on this Dean Ambrose Triple H match for this network special. So it's been an odd build. There's definitely pessimism, but I look at it like this. I look at it as this will work in WWE's favor because expectations, I guess, are lower than maybe they were in previous years. And look, it's WrestleMania. This thing sells itself. It's going to be the most profitable Mania. They might set the indoor attendance record. So the fact that it's lower expectations, lower bar being set, I think it's going to work in WWE's favor because I think they deliver. They tend to deliver. Everybody that's in a match is going to go out and get 110%. There's a few booking things I'm a little fearful of that they could do that might leave a sour taste in people's mouths. But I think overall, people are down on this, but again, it's still going to be very heavily watched and going to be financially successful. So at the end of the day, let's not get all up in arms.
Another one of the interesting matches, Justin, will be AJ Styles making his WrestleMania debut. He basically just got to WWE after a very long, successful career, including TNA here in Nashville and, of course, overseas in Japan and beyond. It's interesting. He's going to be taking on Chris Jericho, who, is a future Hall of Famer, we all know. It's interesting to me how they're booking AJ Styles. He doesn't really get to talk much in terms of cutting promos. They basically have eliminated his finishing move, the Styles Clash, because I guess he's injured some wrestlers in the past with that move. Do you fear, if you're an AJ Styles fan, should you fear that Vince is going to get his grubby paws on him and basically what's the word I'm looking for? AJ Styles is known as a quick strike worker, spot. We all know the WWE style is a lot slower. Do you think AJ Styles can still get over wrestling WWE style?
If you would have asked me, 2 months ago, I would have had a lot of doubts. I had a lot of doubts, and when we all had the rumors and anticipation that he was going to show up, and of course he did for Royal Rumble. I was pessimistic, but having seen these last 2 months, I'm actually okay with it, and that's including the things you said. You're right. He's not doing the Styles Clash on a regular basis, and this, JP. That is a dangerous move. You don't tuck that chin. You're a Pez dispenser.
Yes.
So, there's that, and AJ is not necessarily the most. The best talker, and he has a Georgia accent, and whatever. So, but all that being said, I actually think they've handled AJ pretty well. They've protected his value. We right off the bat, the way he was treated in Rumble was good. The way they then presented him on Raw and SmackDown the weeks following, we got to see him to perform at the level we know he can perform at. But sometimes they left it to where he was just, making an appearance, maybe an outside appearance. So I'm actually very pleasantly surprised how they've handled him. And then, I had him again on my radio show this past week, which people can download. And, he hinted at it after I set him up for it. There's rumors of some buddies of his in the Bullet Club coming from Japan. He pretty much, without saying it, confirmed it.
Wow.
So there's a lot of excitement around AJ Styles, and I actually think they've done a pretty good job to compare to the worries we might have had with previous cases that you're kind of alluding to with, that the WWE style is different than what he comes from and makes his name for. I'm actually okay with how they've handled him, and I think this match with Jericho is going to be, it's not the first of these two. They've had several battles over the last few months, but they're obviously going to maximize their minutes. If they get 12 minutes bell to bell, it's going to be 12 phenomenal minutes, pun intended.
Brock Lesnar will take on Dean Ambrose in a no-holds-barred street fight. An interesting match. Both guys are over with the crowd, and obviously this is, I think, potentially good booking because obviously in a regular fight, Dean Ambrose wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell of beating a guy like Brock Lesnar. What can you expect from this match?
I am actually looking forward to this match more than anything else on the card. This match, I was so down on it when it was created, like you said. But you don't think Ambrose has a chance. It just looks too lopsided. Obviously, they were smart by making this, basically no rules. That's how Ambrose has a chance in this. The way that's been built, I'm really into it. And Brock Lesnar should hardly ever lose. And the same thing applies here, and that's okay because Dean Ambrose has already won. The fact that he's going to share a WrestleMania ring and what's going to be a violent fight with Brock Lesnar,
he's
not coming out of this any worse. He's already a made man, and they've done a great job. They've made me, I have marked out and bought in, and I'm like, you know what? Dean Ambrose might have a small chance of winning this, whether it's legitimate, whether Bray Wyatt interferes, I don't know, but I am looking forward to this match, not for the outcome. I'm looking forward to see how barbaric it gets because I know that this is going to deliver. And I have been the most invested in this than anything else on WrestleMania, so this is what I'm looking forward to the most.
We're talking with Justin LaBar from Chair Shot Reality and the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. He covers the WWE. We're getting ready for WrestleMania 32 on Sunday. What are your thoughts, Justin, on a guy like Kevin Owens? He's a guy that he's proven a lot of things. He does a lot of things that Vince McMahon and the people at WWE like. He cuts a good promo. I think he's outstanding in a ring for a guy his size, but therein lies the problem, his size. He's a 260-pound guy with a bit of a belly, and when you have guys like Sheamus and Triple H and some other guys that are about his weight with abs, Vince likes the guys with the nice physiques. What do you think his ceiling is going forward, Kevin Owens?
I think Kevin Owens, I think he's going to walk out of Mania still as IC champion. I mean, what a year this guy's had, from making the debuts and fighting John Cena to coming around here to Mania. All the things you said are completely right. I think Owens is going to be, I think Owens is very much this generation's Mick Foley. It's just been accelerated, where Mick Foley, it took a couple years after, being a true blue heel and this bizarre character, Mankind, or at least the heel version of Mankind. People then eventually gravitated to the story of the man Mick Foley playing him, and Mick Foley became this great underdog story, and he did have a couple title wins. So, but I think that's kind of a similar thing with what Kevin Owens is going to experience. I think, and there's just already that portion of fans are already behind him, even though they're not supposed to be yet, even though he's supposed to still be a heel. There's just a portion of the audience that just loves him because they love his story, they love his commitment. I think that's what he's going to be. He's going to be the unorthodox guy. He's never going to be. They're never going to be touting him out, on the Tonight Show or having him star in movies. But he's just, he's reliable and he's very good despite his unorthodox look. And the other thing that's going for him behind the scenes, despite all the hard work he puts in, he's not Vince McMahon's cup of tea, but we all know Triple H does like Kevin Owens a lot. And not to be morbid here, but Triple H is going to be around a lot longer than Vince is. So
that's a good point.
I think it's very good for Kevin Owens to have Triple H on his side for the long term.
Another guy that I think is getting some momentum is a guy, Sami Zayn. He's a guy that's been around a long time. He's finally getting his shot, and he's a guy that the crowd is really behind. He's got a great move set. I just have a feeling he's going to have a pretty big moment this Sunday and a pretty good push going forward. What do you see for Sami Zayn?
Yeah, well, let's not forget, Sunday, but let's not forget about Friday, NXT TakeOver.
Yeah.
He's in the main event match against Shinsuke Nakamura, making his debut. So this might be, Sami Zayn might take over the weekend while having sweeping losses. I think he's going to lose on Friday, and he's not going to win on Sunday.
Yeah.
But it still might be a great weekend for him. Yeah, Sami Zayn's a very special talent. I hope he stays healthy. It was very odd to see him get injured the way he did, simply by. It looked like he just raised his hands in the air in that debut match against Cena back in the summer. So I hope he stays healthy. He's got a lot of potential. I
was going to ask you about that. That was a shoot, right? That was a shoot injury.
Yeah. No, that was literally, Zayn gets brought out to be the challenger for the U.S. Open against Cena, and it was literally when he moved in a very erratic pace, lifted both of his arms up, And that was actually where he literally pulled his shoulder out of his socket. He finished the match like a trooper.
Yeah.
That was a complete shoot. So, things like that make you kind of worry. But, hopefully he stays healthy because he has potential to he feels like he has the closest organic following and potential to grow that following that Daniel Bryan had. So there's a lot of things to be excited about with Sami Zayn. Although I don't give him a single iota of a chance to take the IC title, because it's the same reason why Vince didn't do him versus Kevin Owens straight up for this pay-per-view, because Sami Zayn's been off TV for 9 months. So in Vince's eyes, he wants to get Sami reacclimated to the audience. So, but still, it's going to be a good weekend for Sami Zayn.
All right, we'll get you out of here on this, Justin, and we appreciate you being on with us. We really do. Some great insight. What are your thoughts on Wade Barrett? He announced pretty much that he's leaving WWE when his contract was up. I always thought he was a guy that had unbelievable potential, a great look, obviously with the British accent, he cut a good promo. He never seemed to find his niche in WWE. Is that a Wade Barrett problem, or is that a WWE booking problem?
I think both have ownership to this. He's a very nice guy. Injuries were a huge problem. I mean, literally every time that he got some momentum with anything, he got injured. I remember one of them was here in Pittsburgh. So you hate to put the blame on the guy, but he got injured. So it wasn't like anybody was being negligent in the ring. He just got injured for one reason or another.
Can't make the club in the tub, right?
I'm sorry? You
can't make the club in the tub, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. WWE, there's some booking questions. He stumbled upon the greatest thing in the Bad News Barrett deal, and they got scared that it was getting over, and he was getting cheered for it. So they cut it down, and they gave him the King of the Ring, which is like a death sentence, it seems like. So it's unfortunate. Very nice guy. He's going to be gone in June, and from what I understand, he's not even. That's not to say he won't take some indie bookings, but from what I understand, his primary focus when he leaves WWE is not to go work the wrestling scene. He's going to go, and he's got movies and Hollywood aspirations. So that's unfortunate to the fans. It's not like you're even able to go see him, somewhere else. It seems like he's going to, trade his wrestling boots in for his SAG card.
All right, Justin, get your plugs in, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. At Justin LeBar is my Twitter. That's really, I can't stress enough, the best place to follow me for round-the-clock coverage, especially this weekend with interviews with WWE superstars and divas, and any tidbit notes like the ones I said earlier in this conversation, hinting towards the Divas title being gone. So at Justin LeBar on Twitter. If you're in Arlington this weekend, if you're going to be down there for Mania, we'll be filming some segments of the show on Friday at noon at Sherlock's Pub, and then we'll be back there at Sherlock's Pub on Sunday. This is a mile away from the stadium, so you're already there near the stadium. Sherlock's Pub again on Sunday from 11:30 to 2:30. Myself, the guys I do the show with, and Matt Hardy will be doing a pre-Mania party, having some drinks, some food, some Q&A. You can meet Matt, get a picture with him. So, and again, all details are on my Twitter. So if you're going to be in Arlington, definitely come out and join us at Sherlock's Pub. Follow me on Twitter at Justin LeBar. You'll see my entire coverage this weekend.
Justin, fantastic stuff, man. I really appreciate you having you on. Have a great time in Arlington. I'm jealous that you're going and I'm not. Enjoy WrestleMania 32, my man.
Thanks, JB. Good talking to you, and I want to see you next year in Orlando.
All right, let's make a date, man. We're going to make that happen. All right, Justin LeBar breaking down all things WrestleMania 32 for us. We're going to take a break, come back, your phone calls, and a lot more. Stay with us.